I think I'm live, I think. Yes, I am mostly. I look a little different. I don't know if you guys like the Abe Lincoln look I'm going for here. But yeah, I had a sinus infection. It sucked. I still got a little tiny bit in this. So I might sound a little bit like Gilbert Gottfried or something because like I still got one little bit of sinus pressure in this nose nostril. So thank you, Brian. I appreciate it. I'm like 90% better. But, I was in a good mood, I don't know. It was weird, I felt it kind of sometimes when I get sick, it puts me in, like, a bad mood. So I just was like, "You know what? I'm in a better mood today. I wanna talk to you guys." So I know it's a weekday, I know it's different, and I know, there'll probably be less people, but anyway, just wanna switch it up a little bit. So, thank you, Brian, though. Appreciate it. Ocean views, weekday show, change it up a little. Yeah, I'm just changing it up. I'm just trying to switch it up a little bit. Partially just I don't know, I didn't feel like waiting. I thought about just waiting till then the following week, but I don't know, just wanted to switch it up a little bit. Rep Gilbert Godfrey, yeah, totally, yeah. I love Gilbert Godfrey. He's hilarious. God, he was always I grew up watching Aladdin. Aladdin was one of my favorite Disney movies, and I never knew that was him until I was like 20 or something. I'm like, "Oh, man, Iago." Like, that's Gilbert Gottfried because Iago is, like, one of my favorite characters. He's such an underrated Disney character 'cause he was in the show too. I know they did a Disney or they did, on Disney Channel, right? They did an Aladdin, like, continuation, um, with him in it. I'm pretty sure it was still him. I think it was him. So, yeah, he's great. So, yeah, rest in peace. I agree, Maxwell. Eat something spicy hot, burn it out. Yeah, I kinda sorta did that today. I had tacos, and I put hot sauce on them, so it kinda helped, sort of. I was already, like, 90% better, though. So, like I said, I mean, I'm pretty much there already. It's just got a little tiny bit, but and I'm 90% there, but yeah. I've heard that too, but I've heard some people say see, that's conflicting. I've heard some people say, "Don't eat spicy food," and then I've heard other people's there's a lot of conflicting things about, like, sinus stuff. Because my mom always told me don't eat spicy food, don't eat dairy, don't eat like, you know, cheese, milk, and then I've heard supposedly that's a myth. Like some people say that's totally a myth. Like you can eat dairy and it doesn't affect anything. But I still do it. I still like adhere to it. I don't know, because my mom's advice is usually correct. She's pretty good about that kind of stuff. Maxwell Booker. So I'll start this off. What do you think is the most underrated Star Wars story? Ooh, good question. That's a very good question. If you mean just overall, like, if you're talking, assuming you mean anything, like, not necessarily books, I'm assuming you mean, like, comics, video games, like, everything, um, that's tough. I almost wanna say I think the Battlefront, like, the OG Battlefront stories, I think those are underrated. That's just for some reason, like, off the top of my head right now. I know those are, like, really popular games, but, like, most people don't play 'em for the story, but 2, I mean, I think 1 sort of had a story, sort of. But, I think that clone story, for some reason, I don't know, there's more under it. This really probably isn't the best answer, but just shooting from the hip, I wanna say the clone trooper story in Battlefront 2, I feel is underrated. That's my gut instinct for some reason is to say that, even though that's probably not my real answer, but what's up, Nerf herder? Yeah, hey, Zachary. Yeah. Scruffy looking Nerf herder. Who's scruffy looking? Yeah, and Nerfs. Wasn't Nerf and then that's funny, like, how people Nerfs, there's a whole thing about Nerfs, and then yeah, Nerfs, they're like little sheep-looking things, right? Aren't they like sheep or like weird looking like lizard sheep things? There's a whole thing about Nerfs. There's a whole thing behind that. It's an insult. I know it's an insult, and, like, I know, like, didn't Family Guy do a thing like he punches Leia and he's like, "That's our word, don't use that," or something like he made it like a racial slur or something. Zachary Wagster, how you feeling, man? Oh, I'm good. I'm like 90% better. Like I said, I'm not totally 100%, but you guys are helping me. You guys are. I was thinking about talking to you guys, and I'm just in a better. I'm already in a better mood now, just talking to you guys. So feeling better, Zachary. Thanks. Carter Ryan, I have a sinus infection right now too. Eat lots of soup and adding a little spice definitely helps clean the sinuses. Yeah, that's kind of what I did actually. I'm not a big soup person. I was talking about that with somebody, my fiance, I guess. I'm not big on soups. I'm really not. I've never been a big, and it's because my mom always gave me soups when I was sick. And it's funny, my fiance and her family, they love soups. Like they'll just eat soups anytime. They love silly soups, or they love soups, chili, like they love all that stuff. And I like chili, I do. But like soup, I just can't. I can only eat it when I'm sick. So that's pretty much what I did. Yeah, I kind of made. You know what? I made my own soups, and I've never done that before. I took a canned progressive. I made like a mulligatawny. I've never done that. I took like a canned mulligatawny, and then I just added some stuff to it. I added like chicken and some different things to it, and it was really good. And then the next day, I made my own gumbo. I took like a canned gumbo, progressive gumbo, and then I put cut up sausage, and I put some stuff in it. I put a couple other things in it. It was really good. So I might start eating soups. I mean, even when I'm not sick, I'm trying to I'm gonna try to I might try to break that association. You know how that is in your brain. Like you get things associated in your brain. You know, certain things of being sick and certain thing like certain foods. You know, like if you eat a certain food and then it makes you throw up or something. Not to get gross, but you know what I mean. I guess I won't go too into detail because it's getting a little gross. But anyway, Zachary Wax, or at least I'm not scruffy looking. Yeah, who's scruffy looking? Yeah, you scruffy looking nerf herder. That's so great about Star Wars. I love that stuff. I love that there's insults that only exist in Star Wars. They only exist in Star Wars. Like that. That's one of them. Like Sith spit. I was like Sith spit. Sith spit. Um, Kowakian monkey lizard, like didn't Kyle? I think Kyle, I think was the first one that did that. Kyle Katarn, you're an overgrown Kowakian monkey lizard, like that kind of stuff. Like just, I know it's a species. That's what Salacious Crumb is. But oh yeah, sorry, I forgot. I missed your question there. Maxwell Booker, I still have my PS2 disc for the Battlefront games. Yeah, same here. I regret I didn't have an Xbox in the time. That's like one of my gaming regrets, man. I was like, when those came out, I really wish I should have bought an Xbox and played. I missed out on like the prime of Xbox Live of those games. I missed that. I regret that I missed that because I mean they're great on PS2, but the online functionality of the PS2 is not nearly as good as Xbox Live. I mean, the stories are good though. The campaigns they're worth playing just for the campaigns, honestly. Ocean Views, the most underrated Star Wars story is the one Lucas hasn't told yet. Yeah, it's true. The Wills, right? Yeah, he was gonna make if you're talking about I don't know if you're talking about the sequel trilogy or what you're talking about there, but I agree with you. Yeah, I wish Lucas would. I wish I was. Hey, I was one of those people. I was waiting for Star Wars Underworld, and I don't think it had a name yet, or did they officially name it that yet? But the Star Wars TV show that they and there's a proof of concept. There's a trailer. There's like a proof of concept trailer out there that got leaked or whatever. Did it like a year or two ago? I was waiting for that. I was one of the few people, man. I was in that camp. Like I still had. I wasn't burned by the prequels. I was not. I was not burned by the prequels. I thought the prequels ended on a high note. On a actually really high note. I will argue that the prequels ended on a high note. You can say what you want about Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones to a lesser extent, but the prequels ended on a high note to me. So I was Force Unleashed. I mean, they were still putting out good games. They put out Force Unleashed. Force Unleashed one was great, great story. It wasn't perfect, but overall it was great. The novels were good. I mean, the EU was still going strong. I mean, everything was the I was a George. I had faith in George, man. So I agree with you, Ocean. I'm gonna eat a strawberry here. Um, They are more cowish. They are in Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds. Yeah, they're like yaks, sort of, right? Are they kind of like yaks? I can't remember. I know I've looked them up. It's just been a while. A fellow soup hater. Soup haters unite. Yeah, I'm trying to change that though, Maxwell. I guess I'm a soup hater trying to convert into a non-soup hater because I'm starting to get the appeal. Like I'm starting to get it now, especially in, like when it's getting cold. Now that it's starting to get a little colder, I'm starting to get the appeal more. But I'm still in your camp, I guess. It's just the sickness because my brain associates it with being sick. My mom always gave me soup when I was sick. That's the only time I ever ate soup. So my brain just associates it with that. What Star Wars book has the best art cover? Ooh, that's tough. Um, hmm. I really like I really like the NJO covers. I don't know if were you here, Ocean View? I think you were here when I talked about this already. The Bantam covers are great. Most of the Bantam covers are great. Um, I don't know. I just like the NJO covers, and I know that if you want to talk underrated, I think the NJO covers are underrated. I really do. I know they have like sort of photographs in them, like on they're sort of. Actually, I don't know. Are they computer generated? They're probably computer generated. I think they took actual photos of like Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher and stuff, and then manipulated them. But I think they're very underrated. So I've had this question asked. Gut instinct. I want to say like Star by Star. I like Star by Star. I got it right here. I really like Star by Star. I do, and I know I think it's CG. I think it's Mark Hamill, and they like CG'd his face, and then this is all. I think I remember reading somewhere they explain how they did this. It's a person, and then they took like a wolf or something. They combined it with a wolf, and then they put like I don't know beef jerky or something. I'm not sure how they did this, but I think they did something similar to Pirates of the Caribbean, where they took like beef. They probably took beef jerky or something. But anyway, I think the NJO covers are very. I mean, just look at that. Look at that. That's awesome, especially the back. Just look at that. That's great. So anyway, I saw another copy. You guys are gonna probably, you won't hate me, but I was at a antique mall the other day, and they had a copy of Star by Star, and I almost bought it. And I thought about doing it as a giveaway on here. I think I'm gonna do it. I'll probably go back there. It was a little. It was. They were wanting 10. I think $10 for it, which isn't actually too bad. I should just bought it. I'll go back and buy it, and I'll do a giveaway or something. I'm gonna start doing more on here. I'm trying to put more effort, put more time and effort into this because I'm really enjoying this, talking to you guys. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna do it exactly. But I want to do a giveaway, and I think I'll do that. If it was like if it had been $5 or something, I wouldn't even hesitated. But ten's a little steep. But probably I bet you though now with prices of original copies of things, that's probably about going price right now. That's probably market price. Carter Ryan, make your own better soup out of a canned soup, like you said, is the way to go. Well, yeah, I've never done it before. That was new for me. I think I like it's I'm trying to get out of the soup hater camp. I'm trying to be a converter here, trying to convert myself. So yeah, Brian Thompson. The prequels are my favorite by far, especially anything related to the clone troopers. Yeah, if you're talking the movies, or you just mean books? You're talking about books or movies, or just in general? Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say they're my favorite, but they're great. Prequels are great. I'm sorry, they're okay. Maybe I shouldn't say that. They're good. They have problems. They're great, but they have problems. There's flaws. I look at it like I can't think of I had a good analogy the other day, but they're a really well told story. They're a really good story told semi poorly. That's the argument that I kind of agree with. They could have been told better. I'm not saying they could have been told better. but just the foundation is great. The foundation of the what is it? The argument, yeah, I've already been having a conversation on another stream. The pillars, like the pillars, the foundation of the prequels is fantastic. It's a house where the foundation is solid. Like all the stuff surrounding the prequels is great. Like all the books, all the comics, all the video games, everything surrounding it is fantastic. The actual movies, like the house, is a little rickety, but everything surrounding it is great. Like the roof is great, the foundation is great, the actual house is a little rickety. That's kind of the argument. I've sort of done this before, but I'll move on. But yes, I pretty much agree with you, Brian. Ocean Views. I used to be security guard at a company that made the Sony PlayStation 1 CPU chips. Got to see all behind the scenes stuff when they were made. Oh, that's awesome. That's cool. That's really cool. Wow. So you were like, you would have been probably one of the first people to like see what the PlayStation 1 was gonna look like actually like the actual home version of it. That's awesome. That's cool. I was, well, you know how old I am. I was 5 when the PlayStation 1 came out, so it just I didn't get a PlayStation 1 right when it came out. I got one, trying to think, actually, my stepsister, the only reason I even hadn't played on one is because my stepsister at the time had one. That was the only console she had was a PS1. So, PS1's great though. PS1 and PS2 are both great. Watch any new movies or TV shows lately? Not so much. The only new things I've watched are, movie-wise, I watched The Last Voyage of the Demeter, which I thought was pretty good. It had some problems. It had some problems, but I like the concept of I like Dracula. Like, I love Dracula. The novel especially. I love the novel. The Dracula's probably my favorite horror novel. Like, I know this is gonna be sacrilege. I'm not huge on Stephen King. I don't dislike him or anything. I've read a few of his books. I like a few of his books. I liked Carrie. I liked his early stuff. But I don't like I like Bram Stoker. Bram Stoker he's like the original Stephen King. He really is. I mean, he's great. And Dracula is a fantastic book. So I liked that they took what they did is they took that there's one basically there's the log for the Demeter, that's the ship that Dracula, is transported on when he's going from, Transylvania to England. And in the book, it's just like literally like one page, like 1 or 2 pages, like, oh, we're hearing strange noises. There's something going on the ship, and then the ship just appears, in England, empty, and everybody's gone. Um, so they took what they did. I like the concept of it. They took that little chunk of the book and expanded it and made a whole movie out of just that. Like what happened, Dracula killing everybody on the ship and stuff. And like you already know what's gonna happen. It's not one of those movies you go into like expecting, you know, anything new, like the wheel being reinvented or anything. But for what it was, I liked it. And it has some problems. It has some clunky dialogue and it had a few like I think a couple of the characters are kind of like shoehorned in, but for the most part, I thought it was good. I thought it was good, and I thought it was creepy. It did one of the best things I think a horror movie can do is it was creepy. Like, it wasn't really, like, scary, like, "Oh, I'm scared," or like, it didn't really do anything new, it didn't really do anything, like, really out of the ordinary, but I thought it was creepy, like, it had a good atmosphere, which to me, atmosphere is, like, 90% of a horror movie for me, so that's off the top of my head for movies. And then TV shows, no, I mean, I finished Twisted Metal, like a week and a half ago. I think I already talked about that. I don't know. I'm thinking about watching Wheel of Time season 2 because I've heard it's better. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do with Wheel of Time yet. I'm probably just gonna watch it because I'm tempted to be able to talk to you guys and people on the internet and just really just for the I don't normally don't go for FOMO stuff, but I don't know. I like the books, and I know the TV show is compared to the books is garbage, but it's an excuse to talk about Wheel of Time. So I like the Darth Plagueis cover the best. Yeah, that's up there. That's definitely up there. I almost said that. I almost said that because I like that one a lot. Star by Star, Rip Anakin. Yeah, spoilers for anybody, but yeah, Star by Star is great. So it's a great book. God, that book is great. The whole NJO is great. I still think I'll argue even the weak parts of NJO are better than a lot of books, personally. Carteret, no covers are works of art. I'm reading Trader right now, and it's unbearable. Sergey is super annoying. Okay. Um, I can see, a lot of people don't like. I always screw her name up. Verge or Virgin. I don't know how the hell you say her name, but I think I would say Verge. I think is how I say it in my head. It's probably wrong. I'm sure it's wrong, but I don't know. Verge didn't annoy me. She gets a little. Oof, man. If you don't like her now, I don't. Mm, I don't know. I like, I'm gonna disagree with you, Carter. I mostly like Verge. Sorry. She wasn't she gets a little weird sometimes, but I like Verge for the most part. For the most part. The books of Verge are a bunch of word salad, yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I kinda get what you're saying. Like, I get what you're saying, but it's a good word salad. It's like it's breaking down like Matthew Stover just really like he took the force and just I liked I liked what he did with that. I liked how he kind of broke it down and he went like, there really is because there really isn't. There really is if you really think about like it goes along with Grey Jedi and it goes along with I need to refresh myself a little bit, but didn't she say like there really is no like there's no good or evil, like there's just the force and that's it. And she's sort of right in a way because I kind of agree with her because I feel like you can use dark side force powers and not and not follow the dark side. It's just a tool. It's like anything else. It's like a gun. I look at it like it's a gun or it's a knife. Like a gun or a knife can be a can be a terrible thing or it can be a great thing. They're both extremely useful things. They can be very useful and but they can also be very harmful. That's how I look at it. So, but anyway, I see the argument. It gets a little word salady. I get it. I get what you're saying. Maxwell Booker. Okay, next question. What was your favorite moment in the Star Wars novels? Ooh, I think I've had this asked before. I've had this asked before, and you guys. I mean, anybody that's talks to me on here, you guys know I'm an NJO nerd. I'm an NJO fanboy. So it's gonna be an NJO moment. I'm just trying to decide which one. I think I'm gonna have to go with Unifying Force. I mean, the whole book honestly is amazing, but I'm trying to think of a specific moment. Um, I would say that the ending, like I've already heard about this. I guess you weren't here, Max, but the ending of Unifying Force when they go back to Kashyyyk, and they build a little statue for Chewbacca. It's like people that we lost, I think, during the Using Wrong War, and it's Chewbacca. There's a little statue of Chewbacca and still a statue of Anakin, and I think it's Han. Pretty sure Han. He turns on Anakin's lightsaber and then shoves it into the. It's made out of wood. The statue's made out of wood. He shoves it into the wood and then turns it off or whatever and just leaves it. And then they just all kind of just sit there for a minute and just talk and it's perfect. It's perfect. Like the whole I can't. I'm just gonna say Unifying Force the whole book. I hate to kind of you know sidestep your question there, but the whole book that whole book is amazing, especially the ending. But the whole thing's amazing. The fight, the whole fight on Coruscant at the end there. The whole thing, the whole thing. Siege of Coruscant or whatever. The retaking Coruscant. The whole thing, man, it's great. So just Unifying Force. If I had to just gut reaction there. Zachary Wagster, if you could choose, what would be your lightsaber color? I was like green. I liked green. I know it's kind of like I don't know, would that be like a kind of like a normie response or whatever, but I like green. I just always like green. And green's not my favorite color. That's what's funny. I like blue's my favorite color, but if I was a Jedi, I would probably. I feel like I'd either have green or yellow. I like yellow too as a lightsaber color for some reason. Green or yellow. I'd probably go with green though. Green for some reason is that's my gut reaction there. Maxwell's chili is soup. Some people consider it a soup and some don't. I don't consider it a soup, but see, chili doesn't bother me as much. Like chili, I can eat regularly for some reason more than because it's thicker, I guess. Like when I eat it, maybe I think that's why I'm starting to get converted here because if it's gotta have stuff in it. It's gotta be thick. If it's thick, I can eat it. I think that's what it is. I don't like brothy soups. So Maxwell Booker, what other fandoms are you into? Star Trek, anime, Warhammer 40K. Oh, I'm into lots of things, dude. Star Trek, yeah. Anime, not so much. I'm trying to. I'm actually. I started watching. I've watched a couple animes. I've watched Cowboy Bebop. I've watched some of Ghost of the Shell. And I'm starting to watch Neon Genesis Evangelion. But I was never big into anime. I had a friend. I had a friend in school who was huge in anime. Like two friends, but especially the one was like huge in anime, and he tried to kind of convert me, and I'm like, some of it, I don't know. Always more into American cartoons and comics. I've just always been more into American stuff, and it's nothing because I love Japanese stuff. I love Japanese stuff, but I've never been huge in anime. And then 40K, I've sort of gotten into, not much. I've played a couple video games, and I need to read the novels. I think I'm gonna start reading the novels because there's a comic store near me that has some of the novels. But probably like if you're gonna talk, just to so I don't get too bogged down by this. Um, I would say, yeah, Star Wars is number one for me, clearly, and then probably Star Trek. Probably Star Trek. I like Halo. I like um, I like Lord of the Rings. I like Lord of the Rings a lot. Um, those would be my top three, probably. Just to there, I'm into way more stuff than that, but top three. If I had to give you a quick answer here, no, chili's not a soup. Yeah, I see a lot of people don't consider it a soup. But big question is cereal a soup? No. Yeah, I don't think it is. But Maxwell, if you think cereal is a soup, you need Jesus. Yeah. Have you ever wondered why every planet in Star Wars is one biome? Yeah, that's haven't people brought that up before, right? But that's not true. Isn't that really not true? Because there's planets that have like ice caps and stuff. Doesn't Naboo have ice caps? There's planets that have different biomes, I thought. Like most of them, yeah. It's a real world thing because it's each planet, whatever, Endor is just, George Lucas's backyard or whatever. It's in California somewhere. So I mean that's the real world boring answer, but I'm pretty sure there are planets of multiple biomes. Like at least in the EU, I'm positive. I'm like 99.9% sure there there are planets in the EU that have multiple biomes. Well, Coruscant, yeah, Coruscant had different even at least before the prequels, Coruscant had different biomes because weren't there mountains and like there was the city area and then there were mountains and stuff, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, people, but I'm pretty sure pre-prequels, um, Coruscant was not just a city planet. That was something that sort of got retconned. They kind of kept it, but they sort of retconned it, I think. It's a real world thing, no Carter. If you're really being asking me genuinely, it's just it's a real world thing because that's just where they filmed. If you heat cereal on a pot on the stove, it becomes a soup. Yeah, I guess it would. Ugh. Yeah, my God, yeah, it sounds gross. That's gross. Is it just me or is cereal better? It is. Yeah, what is that? Carter, I agree with you 100%. Cereal is better at night. I don't know what that is. I used to eat every day, man, when I was a kid. I eat cereal every day in the morning. Maybe that's what it is because I always used to eat it every time I got up, and then when I got older and didn't have to get up at the crack of dawn, I started eating it at night, and maybe I felt like I'm like, "Ooh, this is like I'm doing something wrong. Like it's like, oh man, this is I'm breaking all the rules here, like I don't know. Maybe it's that kind of thing. I can't eat cereal at any time, but I have to be in the mood for it. Yeah. Yeah, cereal is one of those things. I'm kind of weird about cereal too. Like there's spans. I'll eat cereal like every day for like a month and then I get tired of it. And I just don't and then I won't eat it for months. Like I'm in that right now. I haven't had a bowl of cereal in like probably 2 months. And part of it's because of sinus infection, but I don't know. Yeah, it is weird. I have to like really be in the mood to eat cereal. It is one of those weird. It's kind of one of those weird things. Ocean views. Let's talk about Star Wars food. Any good ideas? Yeah, I don't know who was if you guys were here. Somebody was talking about colas. Like if you had, we were talking about Coke. Yeah, because I was complaining about how Coca-Cola exists in the Disney canon. Coca-Cola exists because of the theme parks or whatever. And I thought that was so stupid. And then somebody came up with, I don't know if you're here, but somebody came up with you had two different sodas, like dark, you had cola and then dark cola or whatever, diet cola, and it'd be the the soda would be join the dark side of the fizz. And I thought that was hilarious. So I'm gonna whoever that was, I'm trying to take credit from me, dude, but whoever that is, I'm gonna say that dark side cola. That's my answer. Yeah, blue milk. Yeah, it wasn't. I read a thing. I read something that said, didn't Mark Hamill say it was like it was disgusting? Wasn't it like it was condensed? It was powdered milk or was like condensed milk or something? Like it wasn't because they were in the middle of the desert. They couldn't get fresh. It wasn't fresh. It was like condensed milk or something. It was like disgusting, and they just put blue food coloring in it. But condensed milk is gross. 'Cause I've had it. I hate it. I bought it a couple times and I was broke. It's gross. Java juice, yeah. Java juice. You want some Java juice? Yeah, yeah. Java juice. Yeah, that's it. Panther burgers. Yeah. Oh, I had a good joke. We're talking about food. I had a good joke. I was on Matt Wilkins' channel. I don't know if you guys know who that is. He's another EU guy. He's actually kind of the guy that sort of inspired me to do this, but that's a story for another time. But um, he was talking about Pulp Fiction, I think, and I was on there. I was in the chat like you guys, and I said something about what did I say? I said, um, I don't know if you guys know Pulp Fiction, but where they talk about they talk about the quarter pounder and all that, and I said, you know what they call a quarter pounder on Tatooine? A Womp Rat with cheese. Like I don't know, I don't know if anybody's gonna think that's funny, but he laughed. He thought it was funny. Panther Burgers is pretty good too. My favorite moment is a novel, or sorry, in a novel is when Luke fights Luke. Yeah, that's great. Heir to the Empire. I mean, the Thrawn trilogy is great. Thrawn trilogy is fantastic. So that's I don't know if we want to go down this rabbit hole, but almost every time I get into an argument with somebody about the EU, they always complain about Luke. They always the Luke Luuk, Luke, the clone Luke. They always complain about that, and I'm like, what's the problem? Wasn't he? He wasn't. I could have sworn I read somewhere Zahn was gonna. He just didn't want to have to write clone Luke or whatever. He got tired of writing clone Luke or whatever, so he just made it Luu. He just added the extra U because he didn't want to write clone Luke or clone Saboa. So he just added the extra U in it. That was why he did it, right? It was just a. It wasn't like I don't know. It's dumb that people complain about that. Should he probably just let the clone Luke or clone Luke or whatever? Maybe I don't know. I don't get the big deal about Luke. Luke is it's dumb. People complaining about it, and then people bring up the extra U, the Luuke Luke, and it's not even canon. Even to the EU, it was a joke thing, and people always I have to correct people on that all the time because they go, look, there's two clones of Luke. There's another clone, and I'm like, no, that's not. That was a joke thing. That was an April Fool's Day thing. That was not a real part of the EU. I don't know. I'm so tired of arguing about Luke. But yeah, I agree with you. Ocean views. It's a good moment. People kind of tear it down, but I don't know. People are just I don't know. It's just people that just want to complain. That's all it is. And find things to complain about. Zachary Wag, sure. My favorite moment is when Luke proposes to Mara. Yeah, that's great. That's in the Hand of Thrawn duology, right? Yeah, Vision of the Future, I think. I have mixed feelings about those books, but that is a good moment. They're I don't know, man. Those books I have some mixed feelings about that duology. They kind of just dragged me. Like there's some great moments, and like overall they're good to great, but there's some parts of those books that just drag. Man, OC Evan in chat for Chewy. Not sure what you mean by that. Sorry. 7 seconds in chat. And maybe that much what you mean. I'm not really sure. Sorry. Um, Carter Ryan. I don't remember when it was, but I always think about Luke making hot chocolate whenever I make some. Oh yeah, people complain about that too. I know that's something like, oh, hot chocolate wasn't in the EU, or that's stupid. That hot chocolate. That's nothing. That's nothing compared to. And we were in this conversation. That's nothing compared to the crap Disney's doing. Putting Coca-Cola. Hot chocolate is not a brand. It's not like they said Swishers, or Ovaltine. We already had this conversation, but yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I think that is sometime in the Thrawn trilogy. Yeah, it was. Or wait, Carter Ryan. I'm not sure. Yeah, that was Thrawn trilogy. I don't know. People bring that up all the time, and I don't get the big deal is about that. I don't know. Maybe I'll just move on. Whenever R2D2 tells, oh yeah, whenever R2D2 tells C3PO off, yeah, those are great moments. I wish, and I think they did it in a couple books. Wasn't there a couple books where they told you what R2D2 was saying, like, or at least sort of a translation or something? I wish they did that more. I think pretty sure there's a couple EU books that did that. Sorry to keep up bringing soup, but noodles or rice. Ooh, I'm gonna say noodles. I'm more of a noodle guy than a rice guy. I like rice though. They're both good. I'm gonna say noodles though. Have you seen Akira Kurosaga's The Hidden Fortress? You can really see how much that story inspired Lucas. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I saw a thing on like I don't know, it was like on Turner Classic Movies or something where they were talking about it and they compared it. Yeah, I need to watch it though. I need to watch a lot of that stuff. I'm not big on like it's a samurai movie, right? I think it's a samurai movie. Oh God, wait a minute. Yeah, it is. Because isn't there a line? Isn't there that Bare Naked Lady song like Kurosawa man films? I don't make films, but yeah, Kurosawa. Yeah, it's a samurai movie because they talk about it in that Bare Naked Lady song. I need to watch more of that stuff. Need to broaden my horizons on movies and stuff. I love noodles, but for me, rice can go rotten. Oh, jeez, no. I prefer. I will agree with you, Zachary. I prefer noodles. I prefer them. I don't hate rice though. I just prefer noodles. I'll, I don't hate them like you do, but yeah, they both have merits. They're both good in different ways. That's kind of who I am. I mean, sorry, it's kind of who I am. Again, I apologize. My no, I'm probably gonna sound a little weird because I'm still not at 100% here yet. Coruscant is ice caps. That is how the cities get their water. Yeah, that's what I thought. Maybe I was thinking of Coruscant when I was getting maybe I got Naboo and Coruscant. My wires crossed there. Yeah, maybe that's probably what I was thinking of. Coruscant had ice caps. That's it. Yeah. Don't they talk about that in does the Thrawn trilogy talk about that? Somewhere in the EU they talk about that. Now that I think about it, there's definitely a lot more geography diversity in the books, planet to planet. Yeah, there is. More than what you think. You, mm, That's what I'm saying. Especially in the books, like in the books and the EU kind of fixed that. Again, the EU fixed those problems, man. They fixed the problems in the movies. Not only problems, I guess, but they fleshed it out. They took those three movies and just fleshed it out into this big thing. And I got there you go. I mean, just look at behind me there. Have you tried Kogel's hot dogs? They have a sausage casing, and when you grill them, have a nice snap. No, I have not. I have not. I'm trying different types of sausages though. I'm trying Polish sausage. I bought a Polish sausage the other day, and I'm not big on, I'm not huge on sausage, but I'm trying some different things. And I bought a Polish sausage and I cooked it, and it was good. It was surprisingly pretty good. And I'm normally not big on that, but I put some onions and stuff on it, and it was good. But I'll try those Kogel's hot dogs. I'll try to remember that, Carter. I don't know. I don't know if they sell them around me, but I'll try. I'll look. So thanks. Ocean views. What do you think about old Anakin being replaced with the young Anakin in Episode 6? Ooh, man, that's a loaded question. Um, I don't have a major issue with it. I think we sort of talked about this. I don't have an issue with most of the special edition stuff. I don't like most of it, not all of it. So I have problems with some of it. Most of it I don't have a problem with, and that's one thing I don't have a big problem with because it kind of makes sense. It kind of wasn't because it was supposed to be you return to like because he went back because he fell to the dark side. So it kind of makes sense why he would go back to looking like younger Anakin, doesn't it? I mean, it kind of does to me. I think that was George's justification. Didn't he kind of like he kind of had to defend himself and say, okay, it's because it's wherever he was at. That's when he was last part of the light side when he was still young Anakin. Do I prefer the original versions of the movie? Yes. I'm not gonna say I don't. I prefer old Anakin. If you're making me choose, I prefer him, but I don't have an issue with it. I don't have a major issue with it. Should they have kept Jabba out of episode 4? Yes. Yeah, that they should have left out. Or I'm yeah, nah. That's one of the things I don't like. See, I feel like most people are the opposite. Most people are like, "Oh, young Anakin, stupid," and then, "Oh, Jabba, cool." Like the Jabba scene is just bad. It's bad, and then like it has like Han walk, especially the part where Han walks around him, and then they do. There's that weird because he's supposed to be stepping on his tail or whatever. Because if you want it was just a guy originally. It was not a big slug thing. It was just a guy in like a fur coat. Jabba wasn't going to be. He was human. Jabba was going to be this big fat guy. It was just a fat guy wearing a fur coat, and like they made it like I don't. It's weird. It's almost as bad as the where Han goes. Where Han Greedo shoots first and Han does that weird shift. It's almost as bad as that where he just goes like this, like he's just walking and he goes boop, and it's like it looks really bad. Like that's way worse than the Anakin thing. I feel like that doesn't get enough flack. The Jabba scene doesn't get enough flack, and I feel like the young Anakin gets too much flack. So that's my opinion. Maxwell Booker. Let's pull up a random Wikipedia article. You want me to pull it up? I guess I can. I think I can do screen sharing on here, so I guess I could do it. Let's see. Yeah, I got a lot of questions here, so I'll get to it. Are you talking about you guys pulling it up? I don't know. Maybe I'll do it. Just if I get to the end here and the questions slow down, I'll do it. '07 is a salute. Oh, okay. All right. Thanks for the salute. Okay. Ocean views. Have you seen episode 6 deleted scene when Luke's jumps up to the grate to escape the Rancor? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I watched all those deleted scenes when they got leaked or whatever. Weren't they all leaked on YouTube like 8 7 8 years ago or something? Yeah, I've seen it. I think it's been a while, but yeah. Oh man, I'm tempted to talk about this. I know you guys. I better not. I better not. I'll wait. There's something in Return of the Jedi I want to talk about, and I'll wait. I'll see if the The questions start slowing down here. Soccer Waxer, I guess you could call me a pro Disney guy, but I do agree with you having Coca-Cola and Star Wars is pretty dumb. Yeah, it's dumb. Sorry. Even you're admitting that. You're pro Disney. And even you're admitting that. So that's how you know it's really dumb. Because I'm very anti-Disney and I don't like it. So yeah. Carter Ryan, for the record, well, let me just back up real quick. I just don't want real world stuff. Zachary. I don't like real world stuff. It's Star Wars. It's supposed to be in a galaxy far, far away. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. I don't want real world stuff. I don't want 21st century American stuff or 21st century Earth stuff being in it. It just it makes it doesn't make it cheapens it. It removes my suspension of disbelief. It pulls me out of it. That's what it is. Carter Ryan, for the record, I love that Luke makes hot chocolate. It doesn't bother me. Yeah, the hot chocolate thing, I think people overreact on. I think he alludes to it being a special thing he gets out. Yeah, he kind of does. He kind of doesn't he say like it's just something he does once in a while, so once in a blue moon. So, yeah, it's just me. There's autocorrect mess up words. You know you're spelling right. Yeah, it does that. Sorry, it does that. Autocorrect just tells crap like that all the time. Ocean Views, 1978 Star Wars Holiday Special is so bad. I fell asleep 10 minutes into it. I've never actually seen it all the way through. I've seen reviews of it. I've watched chunks of it. I've never actually sat down and actually watched it. And I need to do it. I know I need to, but it's like horrible, isn't it? Like it's like awful. It's horrible. It's like a million. It's even I don't know. I need to watch it. I will. Maybe I'll. You know what? Maybe I'll do that this year. Maybe I'll do like a Life Day stream or something, and maybe I'll stream it and we'll just make fun of it. I think that'd be the only way I get through it. Is I have to have some I'd have to have somebody to like watch it with me and make fun of it. I think that'd be the only way I could get through it. So maybe we'll do that. Maybe I'll do that on here with you guys. Let me know. Let me know if that's something you guys are interested in. The original Boba Fett costume was all white, just like a stormtrooper. Yeah, I know. I've heard that. Yeah, I've seen the pictures. Right, there's concept art, and didn't they actually did make it? I think they made it and they spray painted it white or something, and then they changed their mind or whatever. But I've seen photographs and stuff. Yeah, they sell Coco as a major. I don't think I have a major around me. So I don't know if I have it, but figure it out. Maybe I'll order it or something. Zachary Waxer, if you could write a Star Wars novel set in any era of the Star Wars, what era would you choose and what would you write about? Hmm. Well, I'm gonna have to go with it's gonna be post RTJ, of course, because that's my favorite era. What would you write about? Hmm. You know what? I've got some ideas, but my gut, I would do something with. I'd probably do something with the Yuzong Ball. I know. Again, I'm an NJO guy, so I'm. You guys are probably tired of hearing me talk about it, but I feel like the Yuzong Bong after the NJO just kind of vanish. Like they don't do much with them after that. I would do something with the Yuzong Bong after NJO. I would do a story of them just settling down on Yuzong Tar and like just them kind of like settling back in normal life and like maybe have like a little civil war or something. Like you could have like a little maybe there's like two clans of the Yuzong Vong that like one of them wants to return to you know, whatever, back to painting technology and, try and take over the galaxy again. And then there's like another chunk of them that want to be peaceful and like they could just, they can fight each other, like having like a little Yuzong Vong civil war there, which they kind of did have sort of a civil war there at the end there, but like have it actually like just total, I would just have it totally Yuzong Vong, like have no original trilogy characters or humans in it at all. Like just completely Yuzong Vong, 100%. Because that's never been done. I don't even think the short stories did that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's no books that are just 100% used on wrong. That's what I would do, Zachary. And I wonder. I bet you. I'm gonna look. I bet you there's some fan fiction. You're giving me some ideas here, Zachary. I want to see if there's. there's any fan fiction, and I wanted to actually I wanted to kind of talk about fan fiction with you guys a little bit. Um, was yeah, you're running dry on questions. Okay, well I'll talk about some stuff. Um, I'm thinking about like, and I know there's other people that do. There's people that do audiobooks for fan fiction. There's a couple people doing that now for Star Wars fan fiction, but um, I thought about doing stuff with fan fiction, like maybe doing like not necessarily audiobooks. I do audiobooks, but I could do like I don't know giveaways and like just do different stuff with like with fan fiction. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know, guys. There's some things I want to ask you guys actually do. I want to ask you about that and Twitch too, because I thought about doing some stuff on Twitch. But I guess I'll move on here because I think it's starting to pile up a little bit. So Marcus E. Lesnar, X-Wing Rogue Squadron is a great book so far. I haven't read the second book yet, but what are your thoughts on the first book? It's great. All the Stackpole X-Wing books are great. They each gets better. Honestly, I thought Rogue Squadron was probably the weakest. Like, but that's when I say that, like it's like an 8 out of 10. Like that's and they just get better from there, in my opinion. Each Stackpole book just gets better. Like Wedge's Gamble, like an 8.5, and then um what's after that? Oh, Kryto's Trap's like a 9, and then like Bacta War's like a 10, like a 9.5 or like a 10. Like each one just they just build on top of each other and each one gets better. They're great. The Rogue Squadron's great. It's an 8 out of 10. Like easily, like no question. Maybe 8.5. I'd probably bump it up to an 8.5, actually. Have you seen the deleted scenes for episode 3 with different lightsaber fight with Dooku? They look better than in the released films. No, I haven't seen that. That one I don't have not seen. The only deleted scenes I've seen for episode 3 were the Shock T scene. I've seen the Shock T scene and like a couple other things. I don't know if I've seen that. I don't know if I've seen that. Was that on the DVD or the Blu-ray or whatever? I don't know. That one I don't know if I've seen. So I'll have to look that up because I love me some Dooku. So maybe I'll have to watch that. In what book did Luke propose to Mara? I never read that one. That is, I believe it's behind me right here. It's Vision of the Future, I believe. There, I can just pull it out, I guess. Pretty sure it's this one. Pretty sure it's this right here. Like 99.9% sure. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong here. Pretty sure it says. When I saw the deleted behind the scenes footage of the prequels, it was very surprising what did not make the cut and what did. Yeah, there's a couple weird decisions. I'll agree with you there on I'll agree with you on that. Vision of the Future is the book. Yeah, Luke Proposes to Mary. I do know is one of the two books. Yeah, it's Vision of the Future. I'm like it can't be. It's not Spectre. It's got to be Vision of the Future. I liked Mary Jade's character, but didn't Lucas not like that part of the storyline, or am I thinking of someone else? See, there's conflicting things on that. There's conflicting things. I think, I think it's over. I think he wasn't wild about it, but I think the fact that people acted like he hated her, and I think that was overplayed. I don't think he hated her. I think he wasn't wild about it because I think he wanted Jedi to be like, he wanted Jedi to be, celibate, right? He wanted Jedi to not have, like, attachments and stuff. I think that was more the reason. It wasn't because he hated Mara Jade's character. Like, I think he liked Mara Jade, he just didn't like them getting together. He didn't like them getting married and stuff. That's more what it was. Yeah, that's what it was. It was Luke getting married because he didn't like Jedi getting married. That's what it was. It wasn't Mara Jade's character. I think it's I'm I'm pretty sure that's overplayed. I don't think he like hated it because if he really had hated it, he'd have brought the hammer down. Like he would have said, "No, you're killing her off, or you're doing something." Because he brought the hammer down on Anakin. So why would he bring the hammer down on Anakin and not bring the hammer down on Mara? Doesn't make sense. So he couldn't have hated her that much because he didn't. And I don't know if I think we talked about it on here before, but Anakin, Solo, he didn't like there being another Anakin running around. So he was like, get rid of Anakin. So they switched it. They were gonna kill off Jason, and they were gonna kill off Jason and make Anakin the main character, and they switched it. Do you have any plans to make Hand of Thrawn trilogy? It's a duology, but yeah, I can do it. I mean, if you request it on Patreon, I try to focus on my Patreon. I do my own stuff, but I try to keep the patrons happy because they're paying me. So if you want to request it, you can make it happen faster, Tony. But it'll happen sooner or later. You guys are gonna like what's coming out this week. You got there's I got a big week planned. You guys are gonna be happy. Don't worry, Tony. You guys are gonna be very happy this week. There's some good stuff coming out this week. Zach Wagster, thanks. I know you guys are fine. Thanks for the X-Wing series plug. I've been wanting to read those, but haven't been able to commit. Oh yeah, commit, dude. Like the Stackpole books. At least read the Stackpole books or listen to them. Whatever. The Stackpole books are phenomenal. They just they just compound on top of each other. Each one gets better and better. They're amazing. Oops, they're great, man. You're gonna love them. What is your hot take about the Star Wars EU? I have lots of hot takes, dude. Maxwell. I don't know if you've been here, man. I have a lot of hot takes. I have different opinions. I have opinions that are pretty different with most EU people. I'm I'm pretty similar to Matt Wilkins. I don't know if you know him, but him and I are pretty copacetic because he's there's I disagree with him on some things too. Don't worry, don't get me wrong. But okay, so what's your hot take? I'm assuming you mean specifics. I'm assuming you don't mean overall, but um I like Kevin J. Anderson. That's probably one of my biggest hot takes because he's pretty derided. Like most people, even like hardcore EU people, do a lot of them do not like him and do not like his books, except for Young Jedi Knights. Even Kevin J. Anderson haters they'll usually praise Young Jedi Knights. That's the only thing usually they like is Young Jedi Knights is great. Everything else sucks. No, I like all the stuff. Every single EU thing he wrote, except he's only got one or two duds. There's only really only one. His only dud is, and it's not my channel, but his only sort of dud is the Jedi Academy Leviathan. Leviathan's his only dud. Like, and even that's not that bad. It's barely a dud. It's just kind of it's barely a dud. It's not it's okay. It's not like bad. I still wouldn't even call that bad, but that's his only dud. Like everything else he did was great. Jedi Academy trilogy, great. Darksaber, great. Young Jedi Knights books, fantastic, like amazing. Tales of the Jedi, great, amazing, fantastic. Like everything he did was great. He had one dud. That's I know that's probably my hottest take because most people do not like Kevin J. Anderson, like in general. But EU people most do not like him. They do not like him. And the Jedi Academy trilogy is great. It's foundational. Like you have to read it. Like I even on like on Reddit and stuff, and like just anywhere where people talk about the EU and get recommendations, they always say Thrawn trilogy, which I agree with. And they say read Thrawn trilogy, read the X-Wing books, and then then just whatever. I'm like, you're forgetting Jedi Academy trilogy. That's pretty important. That's really important actually. That's Luke setting up his academy and training his first students. That's really important. And most people gloss over it. Most people just you don't need to read it. You don't need to read it. You kind of do actually. I do not understand that. Why people say that. You kind of need to read it if you want to know if it's really important because it's the foundation for it's Luke Skywalker's academy, and that's a big part of the EU, a really big part of it. I mean, is it the whole EU? No, and can you could skip it. I'm not saying you can skip it. You can, but I really don't recommend it. So that's it. I'll move on, Booker, so we don't talk about that all night. What EU book is the longest read, like amount of pages? I think it's Star by Star. I think. I want to say Star by Star for some reason. That's my gut instinct. I'm pretty sure that's it. And I got stuff on my hands, so I don't really want to touch it. But Pretty sure. Yeah, it's pretty sure it's star by star. I'm like 99.9% sure because that's like it's like 500 pages, 600 pages. It's a thick book, man. I mean, just look at it. Compared to look at how thick that is compared to everything else. So star by star. I'm 99.9% sure. You can look it up. But a while back on YouTube, a guy placed all the deleted scenes into the original trilogy movies. It was awesome. It got taken down. Oh man, that's cool. Oh man, I wonder if somebody ripped that. I'm gonna have to find that. That's cool. I love that kind of stuff. I need to watch stuff like that. Like I need to start watching like there's different cuts of movies. There is one I downloaded. There was one that like I know Dune. Like there's a cut of Dune where they added all the stuff from the TV edit because they added a bunch of like they had somebody reading the intro and there's a bunch of like there's deleted scenes and there's like I love that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff's great. So I want to watch the Dune. I think that's on YouTube. I wonder if that got taken down because somebody did that with Dune too. But that's cool. Somebody did that for Star Wars. Man, I'd be all over that. I'm sure somebody ripped it. I'm sure it's somewhere on the internet. Tony Washley. I never read the X-Wing books, but listen to them on his channel. They are fantastic, all 9 of them. Yeah, they're great. They're amazing. I prefer the Stackpole books, but the Allston books are good too. They're all great. They're all great. I just prefer Stackpole. But yeah, I agree with you. You read the Star Wars Infinity comics. Some of them back in the day. Not recently, no. I remember the one with where Luke dies. There's one where Luke dies and Leia becomes you know, she becomes the main, she fights Vader and stuff. It's pretty cool. I remember that one being pretty good. And isn't there one where like there's one where Vader turns from the dark side or goes back to the light and he has like a white suit. His whatever his Vader suit's all white. That was pretty cool. So I've read some of them. I've read a few. I need to read them. There's a bunch of comics I need to read. Honestly, I've kind of I'm more of a book guy than a comic guy. I don't know if you've been on here. Um, I've said that before, but I love comics. I do, but I'm more of a book guy than a comic guy. So I'll read them. But I've read a few. Or DEC. And I'm assuming that's a autocorrect thing or something. Something screwed up there, Tony. Carter Ryan. I vaguely remember in the Darkness trilogy, Leia had some piece of art that was of some importance. What was that all about? I don't remember it being explained. Are you sure? You might be thinking of that's a different. I think you might be thinking of a different book. Isn't that That's a different Troy Denning book. I have it on my shelf. I think. I think you're thinking of Tatooine Ghost. Isn't that the one with there's a painting or something? They're trying to find a painting that and ends up being there's something about the painting. Yeah, I think you're thinking. I haven't read that, but there's something about a painting in Tatooine Ghost. I think that's what you're thinking of. I don't remember. There was stuff in the Dark Nest trilogy where they do prequel stuff because the prequels had just finished when the Dark Knight trilogy came out. So they start tying things in from the prequels, which that hey, if you want to talk about um, hot takes, whoever said that, Maxwell, if you're even still here, Maxwell, I like the Dark Knight trilogy overall. Yeah, you know what? I like it. I'm just gonna commit to it. I like the Dark Knight trilogy, and I know a lot of people do not like the Dark Knight trilogy. I like it. I like most of Troy Denning's books. He's another one. I think he's genuinely kind of like he's has mixed opinions. Like he has a lot of people don't like him. I like him. I like most of his books, not all of them, but like most of them. In Dark Nest, I like the Dark Nest trilogy. It was cool. I liked it. I think you're thinking about Tatooine Ghost though, Carter. I'm pretty sure. Have seen a YouTuber that made Anakin's Episode 3 lightsaber red, give a new look to that fight with Obi-Wan. Yeah. You know, that was something that I thought. I remember when I went to go see Revenge of the Sith in theaters. I That was something that sort of slightly annoyed me. But it makes it well, at the time I was kind of like, I wonder why, Anakin didn't change his crystal to red, but I guess he wouldn't F with it. That happens a lot. They don't like when they fall, they don't immediately change their lightsaber to red. So red crystal, it made sense. And it kind of sort of made sense too because I think because he has a different lightsaber. Vader builds his own. Like when he becomes Vader, he builds his own. But I don't know. I remember thinking as a kid, like, why is his lightsaber red? And then I don't know. Even as a kid, I kind of like corrected myself and I went, oh, yeah, I'm kind of being dumb here. Why would he for that? He wouldn't have with it right away. That's not that important of a thing. The EU kind of was a little weird about that sometimes. Like they would like just have people immediately change their lightsaber to red and like because then they do that like the Giant Eye games or something like Jedi Academy or something. Then Rosh like he just immediately turned his lightsaber to red or something. Like he just switched the crystal out real fast or something. I don't know. There was something where somebody did that and it was a little silly. Kevin J. Anderson was the editor from Tales of Jabba, Palace, Bounty Hunters, and Most Times. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's another thing. Those are great. Those are all great. I know he was the editor but he wrote stories in those, and the stories that he had in there were great. But yeah, you're correct. I forgot about those. Thank you, Tony. Do you own any vehicle cross section books? That would be cool to see in your book section videos. Um, I don't. I don't. I had one. I think I had one, but it got lost. You know, I don't know if I ever had. I don't know if I ever had one. I don't think I've ever had a cross section. I've never been big on those. I'll buy 'em, like, if I'm in a store and I see one, if I ever see them, 'em, I'll buy them. Like, if I see them for a reasonable price. I think those have gone up. I mean, all the old Star Wars stuff has gone up, but no, I don't have those. I have guides. I have some of the old guides, and I have a language guide. I've showed them off. I've got some of the guides and stuff, but I don't think I have any vehicle cross-section books, no. Ocean. But if I ever get one, I'll show them. Don't worry. I'll get them. I plan on collecting them. Honestly, I'm planning on collecting all the old stuff, just period. Like when I find guides, and I think I forgot to bring it again, but I have. Um, I know I have a guide that has view. It's that hardback, that thick hardback one that's got vehicles and characters. So I know I do have one technically. It's the rebind up the hardcover. So I'll show it off. Ocean whenever I get it back. It's in a box somewhere. I think Legend short story collections are underrated. Tales from Jabba's Palace, Tales from the Republic. Yeah, I agree. They're underrated. Those are great. I haven't read all of them, but the ones I've read are great. I've read most of the Tales ones. I've read Jabba's and Bounty Hunters was great. That's my favorite, I think. Tales from Bounty Hunters. I'm just finishing up Survivor's Quest. I read it once and I really appreciate your hard work in getting that audiobook out. Of course, yeah. Survivor's Quest. Yeah, that one. I don't know. The Tim Zahn ones were like kind of a pain to get him to work right for some reason. He must use a lot of paragraph breaks or something. Like there's something that screwed up the software. Those Tim Zahn ones. I don't know why. Those were a pain. I don't know why. Like the software keeps stopping, and I know somebody's mentioned it that there's. I gotta fix them. There's some pauses and things, and I'll fix them. I'll remaster them eventually. I don't know what it was with those. They were weird. The software did not like software doesn't like the AI software does not like Timothy Zahn for some reason. And one guy there's a couple people on my channel that don't like Tim Zahn either, so they'd be happy, I guess. The 80s action figures had yellow lightsabers. Did they have one in the movies or books? I don't remember. Not in the movies, but book. Yeah, in the EU, there's people that have yellow lightsabers. Yes, there's a bunch of people that have yellow lightsabers. Um, and I think in the only, I mean, I don't follow Disney canon. There's probably people in Disney canon that do, but in terms of like, I know in the Clone Wars, in the Clone Wars CG cartoon, aren't there the people that guard the Jedi Temple have yellow lightsabers? But there's a bunch of people in the EU. Um, um, Jaden Core, he has a yellow lightsaber. The main character of the Jedi Academy game and a couple EU books. He's probably the most famous one. But no, not in the movies. Nope, there's nobody in the movie that has yellow, as far as from what I remember. Maybe a background character, but I'm pretty sure I don't even think any background characters. It's an uncommon one. That's kind of why I like it. I go back and forth between green and yellow lightsabers. I like yellow a lot. I think yellow lightsabers are cool. So, but yeah, it's mostly an EU thing. Ocean, mostly. I like Tim. Yeah, me too. I like most of Tim Zahn's books. I like most of them. I think he. You're not. I don't know if you're gonna agree with me, but I think I think he got worse as he went along. I think he was like his Bantam books are amazing, and then I think like most of his Del Rey stuff's good, but I think it kind of trailed off. He's like a lesser. He's not nearly as like you know wishy washy as Karen Travis, but yeah, I mean he's better than Karen Travis. I'm not gonna say he's not, but Karen Travis is like she's really hit or miss, and I feel like Tim Zahn. I've already said this. Tim Zahn's a little hit or miss for me. He's a little hit or miss for me. Sorry, I don't know. That's a little bit of a hot take, but he's kind of hit or miss for me. Most people are like Tim Zahn. Everything Tim Zahn does is amazing. Like no, he's. I think he's hit or miss. I don't think he's everything he does is amazing. Most of his stuff is great, but he's hit or miss, in my opinion. He's mostly hit, but he's got a few misses. Zachary Wagster, how did you and your fiance meet? We met in college. Actually, we met through a friend. We met through a friend in college, in a class. So I know, kind of boring. Sorry. The short version is we met through a friend in college, basically. Sorry, I know, not real exciting. She's a Trekkie, Zachary. I don't know if you've been here, Zachary. I don't know if you've been here when we had this conversation. She's a Trekkie, and I'm a Star Wars nerd. So we kind of like I don't know what you would call it. We have like we don't have battles or whatever, but we balance. I feel like we balance each other out real well because she's a Trekkie. Her and her family are Trekkies. And what's funny is my dad's a Trekkie. Her family's are all Trekkies. My dad's a Trekkie, and my mom's a Star Wars nerd, and I'm a Star Wars nerd. That's something I've never really haven't talked about much. Why don't we have something like that? Star Wars nerds. We don't have that. What do we have? Jedi? I guess we just say you say you're a Jedi or something. Like we don't have a version of that, a Trekkie. Why don't we have that, guys? We need to come up with something. I know people like now we see that maybe is it I've heard somebody argue because the Star Wars fandom is too fractured. Like there's so many like fractures in it. You can't do that because like there's EU people. I guess I just call myself an EU fan, but I like the movies and everything too. But like people say that there's EU fans and then there's Disney fans and then there's Clone Wars fans and they kind of have a point because it's kind of fractured. Like this fandom's kind of fractured. So I don't know. Maybe that's Star Trek fans are a little less fractured. They are getting a little fractured now because there's new Trek and there's old Trek. So they do have a little bit of a schism there. But anyway, who are your favorite EU authors? I love Zahn and Michael Stackpole. That's tough. I like it. Well, Kevin J. Anderson. Kevin J. Anderson. I like Stackpole a lot. Yes, Stackpole's up there. James Luceno. I like James Luceno a lot. They're probably my top three. I'd say Kevin J. Anderson, Stackpole, Luceno. My number three. In those order, that order changes. So Tim Sardonic Zahn. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It is not. It's I don't know. I don't want to get too down the rabbit hole with Tim Zahn, but I don't know. I've heard things and like just different things. I think he's gotten better, but like yeah, you use sardonic a lot. I know that's kind of what you're saying there, but um, I don't know. I've heard he's kind of like a little bit of a prima donna from what I've heard. Like he kind of at least I think he's gotten better, but for a while there he was like, oh, I'm above everybody else, like Kevin J Anderson and I don't maybe not Kevin. I think him and Kevin get along, but like he's kind of said like, oh, the most of the EU is just like, it's below me. Like I'm just, my books are the best. Like he got a little bit of a big head there because he was something for a while there. Like he was the guy. He was the Star Wars guy for a while there. So I think it kind of went to his head. I think a little bit. So he get. I've heard stories that he's a little bit of a prima donna, and I don't like that. So, but I need to be a little careful because things might be played up. But I've heard from a lot of different people, from different sources and different things that he's a little bit of a prima donna. So I don't know. I have mixed opinions on Tim Zahn. So anyway, did your lady like the new Star Trek series? I feel like they're ruining history and canon. No, she doesn't like the new stuff. Don't worry, Ocean. Nope, she doesn't like the new stuff. We watched we watched Discovery. At first, I think she was okay with Discovery at first because her and I kind of watched Discovery and then it trailed off. But I think she was okay with Discovery, and then after that, no, she doesn't watch any of the new stuff. Her brother does. Her brother will watch anything Star Trek. Like he's like hardcore, like just anything. Like I think he's watched Picard and all the new stuff, and I don't know. I'm not enough of a Trekkie, so I'm not interested in it. But yeah, that's kind of like the general consensus, isn't it? Like, aren't they like aren't they kind of doing like they're kind of doing with Star Wars like actually they're kind of doing worse because like at least the EU like they just closed it off. And I honestly now that I'm kind of been seeing what's been going on with the Star Trek fandom, I think we got the better deal, guys. Like Star Wars nerds, I think we got the better deal because at least with us they close it off and it's its own separate thing now. The EU is its own separate canon. Like Star Trek, they're just butchering it because it's all like anything on screen, it's all the same, it's all canon. So like if they make a TV show that somebody goes back in time and kills Riker or something, it's canon. Like you're stuck with it. So maybe we got the better deal, guys. I'm starting to think we did. So yeah, Ocean Views, I think she'd agree with you. I know she would actually. Have not read the newer Timothy Zahn stuff, Major L if he fell off. Yeah, I've just heard I've especially even the Disney stuff. I've heard even the Disney stuff. He starts off good and then it just kind of just trails off. But I think he was already doing that even before that. Personally, guys, and again, don't kill me, guys. But like even Hand of Thrawn, I Hand of Thrawn was I think is overrated. It's not bad. I mean, it's definitely good. Don't get me wrong, it's good, but it's like it's a step down from the Thrawn trilogy. I'm sorry. Like a lot, there's people that are like Oh, I know it has most that's kind of I think the general consensus, but like I think it's a pretty big step down. Like Thrawn trilogy is just incredible, like it's amazing, and then it's like Game of Thrones just kind of like, yeah, it's good, but eh, I don't know. That's my opinion. No, Temple guards have a staff with little yellow lightsabers on each end. Also, were Temple guards not good enough to be Jedi, but better than be sent to the agricultural corps? I guess. Yeah, they're like a weird middle ground, I guess. That's old canon, right? I think that wasn't one of the newer seasons, right? Pretty sure that was technically EU still. That's technically old canon, I think. I think. You might have to correct me if I'm wrong. See, I'm Clone Wars. Honestly, Clone Wars. I almost want to just lump Clone Wars. The Clone Wars CG cartoon. I almost want to just lump that in with Disney stuff because it just it steamrolled all of the books. It steamrolled the comics. It almost it felt like I know we kind of talked about this, but it was almost kind of like the Clone Wars CG cartoon was almost its own little like buyout, like Disney, like kind of like it kind of almost paved the way for Disney, like the Disney, canon wipe. It almost did because they steamrolled a lot of old stuff, and I was not happy with that. So I have mixed opinions on that too. There's stuff I like about it, but I won't get too bogged down on the Clone Wars unless you guys really want to talk about that. I've seen all of it. I have the old stuff. I have not seen the Disney stuff. I have not seen the Disney seasons. I've only seen the old seasons, the original Cartoon Network seasons. So if you want to talk about it, that's all I can talk about. True, good sport. Not sure what you're talking about there. Maxwell, it's awesome. I've never read a Zahn book without sardonic in it. Yeah, he uses sardonic a lot. Yep. I think Zahn's a little overrated. Sorry, guys. I think Zahn's overrated. Ocean Views, the new Disney Wars will not stand the test of time. People wake up one day. Oh yeah, it's already not standing the test of time. I mean, just look at my channel. Look at. There's people. People are looking for People are People are looking for old books. That says it all right there. That the people are looking. They'd rather read old books. People are starting to see the light. People are starting to turn to me. Turn into me and go. I'd rather just read a book. I don't. I'd rather read a good Star Wars book than watch Disney stuff. They're already being forgotten. And as mixed as the prequels are, and as like, yeah, again, I've said this before. You can crap on the prequels all you want. At least George had a vision, and at least there's it wasn't made by committee. It was one guy with a vision trying to make a story. And even the silly parts, like I feel like even the silly stuff in sorry, in the prequels, it's at least memorable. It's not just generic slop. Like it's memorable. Even Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar Binks is. Yeah, I've softened on Jar Jar Binks a lot. I know I've talked about this. I used to hate Jar Jar Binks. I used to hate him. It's so Misa, it's so stupid, and but it's like I take Jar Jar, because at least he's memorable. Yeah, is he stupid? Yeah, he's dumb, but he's at least memorable. It's memorable. I don't remember like 90% of the characters from the new Star Wars movies. I don't. I remember like Poe, kind of, and like the rest of them. They're just blank slates. They don't have character arcs. They barely have character arcs. They're just blank slates. So as crappy as Jar Jar is, I'll take that. I'll take him. Remember, I'll take that over the new stuff. Sorry, Zachary Wagster. I'd love to stay longer, but sadly, I have to go. Peace out and hope you have a wonderful night. Thanks, Zachary. You too, sir. Have a good night. Are you watching any baseball? Not so much lately. I used to follow it. I'm in Missouri, so I'm a Cardinals guy. I heard they were doing really bad this year. I heard they were doing really crappy this year, so I just kind of just. I'm not a big sports guy. Sorry, Carter. I don't know if you want to talk sports, but I'm not a big sports guy. I'll talk about it. And I used to kind of be interested in baseball, but nah, I'm not big into sports. Baseball is actually, it's funny. You picked the one sport that I'm like even sort of like mildly interested in, but even that I'm not really all that interested in. What do you think of all the '90s action figures being all buffed out, but a lot of the '80s collectors? Oh yeah, I don't. I think it's kind of funny. I don't care. That was the '90s. That was the '90s. Everything was like everything had to be extreme and like you got to be buffed out, man. You got to be jacked and freaking. You gotta, because it was like the WWE Raw era where everybody was all you got to be jacked, man. This is Hulkamania. Like you gotta. I don't know. It's '90s silliness. It doesn't bother me. That's I sort of heard about this. I'm just gonna have to break down and buy it when I get some extra money. I'm gonna buy all the EU because they did EU ones. They had Dark Empire, Luke. They did Thrawn. They did a bunch of EU stuff, and I really appreciate that. Say what you will about them, but they did EU stuff, so I want to get my hands on them. I'm gonna get my hand Dark Empire Luke. I want Dark Empire Luke really. But I saw it at a store once, and I didn't buy it. I don't know why I didn't. I was being really stupid. I had Shadows of the Empire, Boba Fett, and I sold it. And I regret it. Should have kept it. It's not like incredibly rare or anything, but I wish I would have kept it. I think it's funny. Ocean. That's my answer. Hand throw was a major letdown. I wouldn't exactly call it a major letdown, but it's like it's a letdown. I wouldn't call it a major letdown, but it's a little disappointing. Because yeah, Toronto Trilogy was so amazing. It's a step down. Like it is, man. I sort of agree with you. They felt immaculated. Yeah, emasculated. You mean the Empire? If that's what you mean, like, yeah, the Empire was like, if that's what you mean, I'm not sure if that's what you mean, but yeah, the Empire was like, yeah, it's just like I don't know. Those books, I have mixed opinions on those books. The stuff that's great in them is great, but the stuff that's I just thought they dragged. Like that's really what it was, and that's the worst thing a book can do. That's the worst thing a book can do is drag for me. Like that's why I'm weird. I'm weirder than a lot of people because I'll read a crappy book as long as it doesn't drag. Like I get more enjoyment. Same thing with a movie or a TV show or anything. Like if it's enjoyable, like if it's not dragging, like if at least things are moving, things are happening, and like I'm getting some enjoyment out of it. I'll take that over something that's just really like just dragging. It's just like I'm just forcing myself to read it. That's almost how I felt with Game of Thrones. Almost. I got close. There's some points where I almost was like, mm-mm, this is dragging. Autocorrect got me feeling like pouring water on some computers. Yeah, it's fine. I think I got the gist of what you were trying to say, Carter. Death to Jar Jar. Yeah, that was me. I'm not saying I like him. Don't get me wrong, I don't like Jar Jar. I still don't, but I've softened on him. I used to be like, I was in the camp with like most Gen Xers and stuff. See, most millennials were not, because he was for kids. Like most kids, were like, oh, he's funny, farts and stuff, and even as a kid, I was like, this is stupid. This is dumb. And he is. He's dumb. He's dumb. But I still take that. I would still take dumb over generic slap, over just blank slate, and like I don't, because at least it's something. I'll take that over just blank, just complete generic character that I don't give a shit at, give a crap about at all. Trying to keep it PG, or I would take that. I'm sorry. Yeah, the Jar Jar theory. Yeah, we talked about that. Talked about that. I think not last stream, but one of the earlier streams you talked about that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was just for like, and that's what's funny. I was part of that generation. Oh my God, I'm tempted to tell a story. I guess I will. I don't know. I guess I'll just tell it. There was a kid in my class who talked like Jar Jar. Like he was obsessed with Jar Jar. I was in third grade. Third grade, yeah, because I was in third grade when Phantom Menace came out, and he talked like Jar Jar. He was obsessed with Jar Jar, and he would talk like Jar Jar all the time. All the time. He would talk like Jar Jar 24/7. Like, I don't know if he maybe I guess I didn't know if he did it at home. I would assume he at school. Like he was at school and he'd go, Misa. I don't remember what his name was. Misa Josh, or I don't know if that was his name. Misa Josh. And I go, oh hey. And like he talked like that to everybody, like even teachers and stuff. Like he was obsessed with Jar Jar. So George had something there. He had something because I think a lot of kids did like Jar Jar. I didn't. I was kind of neutral. When I was a kid, I was neutral. I was kind of like, he's weird. He's kind of like, I'm like, I wasn't super wild about it. I didn't hate him, but I was like, it's kind of silly and kind of weird. But he must have struck a chord with some kid. He clearly that kid in my class, because I have imprinted in my brain. We were playing dodgeball or something, and he was like, he was getting hit with all the dodgeball. Like he was like, because he was kind of like a tall, kind of like gawky, kind of dorky kid, and I was kind of like that too. So I don't have any room to talk, but like he was getting, I was good at dodgeball though, but he kind of wasn't. So he was getting hit by. I just in my brain. I had this. It must have happened because I remember him getting hit with like five different dodgeballs and going, "Oh, gee, Misa getting hit with dodgeballs!" Like, and I'm just like now I can in my now I'm just picturing Jar Jar. Like I can overlap it in my brain, just picture Jar Jar going, "Oh, gee," like I don't know. Oh man, I'm whoever this kid is. He's probably like a CPA now or something. He's probably like I don't even know. I wonder what happened to that guy. God, I better move on. I better move on. Oh man. Go Cubs. Sorry to hear you're a Cards fan. Oh man. My mom would agree with you. My mom's a Cubs fan. My mom grew up in Chicago, so she would agree with you. She does not like the Cardinals. Cardinals are having a bad year. One of my sisters lives in St. Louis. Maybe she is your neighbor. Could be, possibly nearby. I don't technically live in St. Louis, but it's possible, I suppose. Nah, the '80s collectors felt emasculated. Yeah. Oh God. Someone in clutch with some good questions, or I have to get off and go to bed. Okay, we can just talk about stuff. It's fine. I'm tempted to tell more of that Jar Jar kid. Do you want me to talk more about that Jar Jar kid? Because he would do it in class. Jar Jar wasn't around much in episode 2. Yeah, they phased him out. Oh man, I don't know why. Like I have a lot of my childhood memories. Like I have a really good memory, so it's stupid. Like why do I remember that? Why do I remember that so much? He would do it all the time. But there's something about we were playing dodgeball, and I just remember. I remember laughing. Like, I remember like I don't like to make fun of people, like laugh at people, but like maybe it's because I was just thinking of Jar Jar Binks playing dodgeball. I feel like that's something like that. That sounds like a Robot Chicken sketch, but it was real, man. I swear to God, I'm not making this up. I swear I'm not making this up. He would do it all the time in class. He did that for like 2 years straight. I think he quit eventually, but like for like 2 years straight, he talked like Jar Jar. He talked like Jar Jar, and it was even as a kid, like as a 9-year old, I was like, "What are you doing? Like, why are you doing this?" God, that's tattooed in my brain. Him getting hit with a bunch of dodgeballs, and oh, gee, Misa getting hit with dodgeballs. Oh my God! Like I think even the lunch line. Like I'm just gonna keep talking about this because it's kind of I don't know if you guys are getting bored by this. Let me know, but I think I don't know. In the lunch line, he'd be like, "Misa wants some pizza." Like he would. I'm not even joking, guys. I'm not making this up. He talked like this all day, all freaking day. I wonder what his parents like. Did his parents just make him stop? Maybe like, okay, Jonathan, like Phantom Menace has been on theaters for like for 2 years now. You need to move on now. Like, I don't know, like I'm trying to like, how did that conversation go? Like, man, man, I almost feel bad like laughing about this, but it's Star Wars, so it's related to what we're talking about. But oh man, I mean, if you guys want to ask me questions about this or something, other anything else, I'm just, how did that go? Like, did he do it at home? Like, I wonder if he was doing it in school. I almost feel like he had to have been doing it at home. Like Misa going to brush me teeth now. Misa go night night. Like, I don't even what. Oh my God. Okay, maybe we need to move on. I'm probably irritating you guys. I'm probably I'm probably like gonna kill the stream here talking about this. Anyway, oh man. But I've softened on Jar Jar. I've softened on him. I used to hate him. I went from like being neutral towards as a kid I was neutral, and then like when I got older I hated him. Like I was like, Jar Jar, he's so stupid, and like blah, blah, and then the whole especially Disney after the buyout, I've softened on a lot of things. I've softened on the prequels. I'll admit it. I've softened on them. Have you ever seen a YouTuber called Quinn's Ideas? Dune Super Nerd, good channel. I'll check it out. I love Dune. Ocean. I showed you my first edition Dune, didn't I? Or anybody watching this, if you want to see my first edition Dune, say something. We can talk Dune. I love Dune, man. I love Dune. I even like most. I haven't read all the Kevin J. Anderson books, but I like most of them, and I know that's an unpopular opinion. Yeah, the Frank Herbert books are way better. I'm not going to say they're not, but I didn't think the Kevin J. Anderson books are horrible. So I'll check it out. But yeah, let me know. Anybody watching this, if you want to see my first edition Dune, I have it. I can. It's in the other room. What are your thoughts on Drusa Bakura? I like it overall. It's I like it. Yeah, I like it. It's not perfect. Is it as good as the Thrawn trilogy? No, it's not. It's not as it's in the upper. I would say it's like B tier. It's not. Ooh, you know what? Speaking of tiers, should I do a tier video? That's a popular thing, isn't it? I could do an EU tier video. I could do something like that maybe. Maybe I'll do that. I'll start doing some different things. try to put some more effort into this. But it's B tier. It's good. Like it's overall good. It has a few issues. Um, I don't have a huge issue with like the robot, like putting people's souls in the robot bodies. It's a little odd. It felt a little Star Trekky and like a little weird. But like overall, I liked it. It's B tier, Tony. That's my answer. It's like a B. It's like a B. It's somewhere below. I would say like Thrawn trilogy, like X-wing or X-wing books, and then it's like a solid step below that. It's like B, maybe B plus, B plus. I enjoyed it for the most part. I enjoyed it for the most part. For the most part. Wow, YouTube chat is bad tonight. It's not sending mine. Yeah, I don't know. I might have to start. I'm thinking about just not even um doing this through StreamYard. I don't know if that's causing the problems or what. Because if you're not, I've heard people seem to be having problems with comments. So I don't know what's going on. I'll figure it out. I'm still kind of learning the ropes of YouTube here. So this is kind of new. This is kind of new for me. So I apologize for any technical issues there, Ocean. Guess we need tiers. Maybe I will do a tier video then. I'll do a tier video. Maybe I'll do that. I mean, I could do it. I guess I could do it now, but I feel like it's a little late for that now. But I'll do it. Let me see if I can get screen share working. Maybe I'll kind of start fooling around with it now since it's kind of slowing down a little bit. You into Stargate? Sort of. Again, my fiance and her family, they love Stargate. They're huge in Stargate. They're Trekkies. They're Trekkies and Stargate. Like Stargate's almost up there with Star Trek with them. I've only seen the movie. I've only seen the movie, and I'm gonna watch the show because I've heard really good things. But I like the movie. The movie I thought the movie was fantastic. So I will watch it. Don't go Ocean. I will watch it and we can talk about it. It's on the list. I'm trying to get through all the Star Treks right now. I gotta watch Deep Space Nine. I just finished Enterprise, and I think I'm gonna move on to Deep Space Nine. I've kind of jumped around, but I gotta finish the Star Treks first. That's the only one I haven't watched yet. So you into Battlestar Galactica? No, but that's another one I've heard. I think that one I'm gonna put on the list too at some point. My fiance's brother is huge into it, huge into Battlestar. So yeah, I've heard good things about that too. I have not seen that. I have not seen that, but I've heard good things about it too. I need to watch that. The original. I want to watch the original because isn't Michael Ironside in that? And I like Michael Ironside a lot. Did you watch Man in the? You're talking about Man in the High Castle? No, I need to. I need to. That's a TV show, right? It's based on a Philip K. Dick. I like Philip K. Dick stuff, so I'll watch it for sure. There's so many things I need to watch. I know. I know. I'm honestly the older I'm getting, I'm getting more and more into books. I'm more of a book guy, I think, more than TV. And I know TV shows and movies you can get through them quicker, but I'm a fast reader, which helps. I can get through books almost as fast as I can get through TV shows and not movies, but I can almost get through a book quicker than a TV show, almost, depending on the length, obviously. But yeah, I'll watch it. Ocean. I'm interested. I like Philip K. Dick. So how about letter grades for the original Star Trek series? 79 is a bunch though. Yeah. See, I can't do that yet though, Tony, because I have not seen Deep Space. I gotta watch Deep Space. So I could do everything but Deep Space, I guess, if you want to do that. You can do that. Maybe after I'll do a Star Wars. I'll do a Star Wars um, book thing first, and then we'll do that. And just maybe I'll wait till I finish Deep Space or I start get through Deep Space Nine. My mom's email is on my phone because hers broke recently, and just kind of a reminder for a sugar ritual at 11:35 p.m. Any idea what that means? Probably she's probably on a diet or something. Sugar ritual. That almost sounds kind of that sounds a little silly, but I'm assuming she's like on a diet or something. It's like something she's doing to like cut back on sugar or something. Black magic or midnight snack. Yeah, I'm assuming she's on a diet and she's trying to like not eat sugar or something. Have you seen the 80s Ewok movies? Have not yet. They're on my watch list on because they're on Disney Plus, and I bum off of my dad's Disney Plus account, so I'm gonna watch them because I want to watch them because there's a Dathomir witch. It's the only EU appearance of a Dathomir witch in live action ever. Period. So I want to watch them. So past 2 weeks, your email has been on my phone. It's like nail appointment, doctor's appointment, dinner plans, midnight sugar ritual. It's like a diet thing, I'm sure, dude. I wouldn't worry about it too much. That's kind of funny though. That is pretty funny. Let's stick the topic. Yeah, I don't care. I mean, people aren't asking questions, so only got 3 people on here, so it's starting to slow down a little bit. I don't know. Might try to do the screen sharing thing real quick and just see. Um, I'm tempted to start that. I'm tempted to start the tier thing and just like at least kind of get it going. At least I'm tempted since it's slowing down here. I didn't want to quit quite yet. Let's see here. Pull around with it here in a second. Let's see, share screen. Oh yeah, okay. I see. This is what we do here, I think. Yeah, I think this is what we want to do, right? We want to do share entire screen, right? Yeah. And we want to do this, right? We want to do like tier maker, right? That's how we do this. I don't know. Has anybody done this? Yeah. I don't think this has ever been done. Wow. Okay. You guys still here? Okay. All right. Category books. Select template cover photo. Oh man, I gotta put in all the images and everything. Oh man, this can take forever. Let's see here. There's got to be an easier way to do this. Can I just get like a blank one and just put? Hmm. Okay. Maybe all the books would be cool. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how to do it exactly without this being a huge pain here. Good show. Look forward to the next one. Thank you again for all the hard work. Of course. Yeah. See you later, Tony. I'm gonna try. Might try doing these earlier. I think I'm gonna try to do these earlier because I know people have to go to bed and stuff. So I just love what you do. I'm gonna do big slumber. See you next time. I hope you feel better soon. Yeah, I'm pretty much there. I'm like 90%. So I'll start doing these earlier. I'm gonna start trying to do these earlier so people have more time to talk here. Might do one. I might even do this tomorrow. Maybe I'll start getting this going. So hang on a second here, guys. Let's see. Select all your files at once. Oh man, I have to log in and everything. Oh jeez. All right. Well, I don't know. Hell, maybe I'll hang on a minute. Maybe I'll just leave. Hang on a second. So I don't want you guys. I'm gonna have to remove this for a second. All right. Maybe I'll just wait for now because I don't know. I guess I can I black this out for a second maybe? How do I do this? I don't know. Like, see, I gotta get all the images, which I have a bunch of them. Hang on, maybe there's got to be somebody who made a template for those. Let's see, I know people on like people have done it on Reddit and stuff. I guess I'll just have to. I'll get this set up for next time. I guess. I think everybody's leaving. Yeah, I think everybody's gone except for you, Ocean Views. I'll do it next time. I guess. Have you seen Starship Dimension website made by a guy named Jeff? No, I have not. Sorry. Sounds interesting though. Sounds intriguing. Let's see here. I don't know. I think the only one left Ocean View. I guess I'll end this here soon, unless somebody else joins. We get more momentum here. Let's see. Wait a minute. Somebody did make it. Community rankings. Okay, somebody did it. Go to template. Okay, somebody did make a template. All right, somebody did do it. All right, here we go. Okay, cool, great. Somebody did it. All right, maybe I'm probably gonna save this for next time. Because yeah, I think everybody's leaving here. All right, I gotta run also. Thanks for the show. Have a good one. Yeah, I'll be back. That's why I normally do this on the weekend because I know most people work, like have regular jobs, and they got to go to bed. So don't worry about it. This was kind of a spur of the moment thing. I wanted to do it yesterday, but I'm gonna try to do it on Fridays and Saturdays because I seem to get more people on Fridays and Saturdays. But anyway, see Ocean. But I'll probably just let this go till 11. Just see if people join because I didn't want to quit quite yet. Maybe I'll quit at 11 if unless people start joining. I know there's somebody else here. Ask anything you want to ask. So, okay, bye, good night. Yeah, it's cool. Don't feel an obligation. You don't have to. You don't even tell me you're leaving. It's all good. Maybe you know what? Just to maybe I start working on at least get the tier list set up here. So let's see here. I want to do. How do I do this here? I would assume that. Let's see here. I think what I want to do is make it a separate window. I think. I want to make it a separate window and then share the screen. I think is what I want to do here. I think. Okay. see here. See, how would I do this? Hmm. Do okay. I think should I do share entire screen? Maybe that would work out better. Hang on. See here. I feel like that will work out better. Shoot. Let's try it. Oh, that's how you have to do share system audio. Okay. Let's see here. How would I do this? I guess I just flip back and forth. Yeah, probably be. I'll probably just flip back and forth talking to you guys. Okay. Oh, okay, cool. All right. So it looks like I can just flip back and yeah, I'll just flip back and forth. I just share the tab and then I flip back and forth. Okay, so one person who's here. I don't know if you care. I'm probably not going to start this yet. All right, I'll save it for next time since there's nobody here. I need to get ham block. I don't know. All right, at least I got it ready to go here for next time. Man, yeah, I'm gonna have to do this on the weekends because this just dies here. This is the community ranking. Okay. No, I want to make sure. Okay, yeah, it's bookmarked. All right. All right. I guess there's nobody here. So it's a Monday night. I get it. I guess I will. Um, man, I was hoping this would go a little longer, but shoot. Well, I was hoping to go to midnight here, but it's well, I got two people here. Two people. You want to talk? I was gonna do a Star Wars tier list. I thought about starting it tonight. I don't know. You tell me. You guys tell me what you want to do here. Let me know. I'm tempted to start it, but I probably shouldn't. Let me know. Or if you have questions or whatever, let me know. Yep, left again. Maybe I'll just leave the tier thing up and then just see if people come back. I don't know. There's a 10 guys. Anybody that's watching this after the fact, I think most of it's on there. Like the big stuff. The big stuff's on here. I think it's miss. It's not. It doesn't have everything. I can tell right now. But the big stuff's on here. Like most of the important stuff. Yeah, most of it's on here. So, all right. Might give it a few more minutes. See if people jump in real quick here, and then I'll probably let it go for the night because it seems like it's dying. It's pretty much dead. And I wanted to talk to you guys more, but sorry. It's a Monday night. Get it? Yeah, that Jar Jar story, I guess, I thought that was funny. I guess it wasn't funny. I don't know. Sure is. Don't know. How, I don't know. One person who's in here. If you want me to start doing this, oops. I probably won't start it tonight, but what are your thoughts? Would you like to see a tier video person? Who's one person who's watching? Trying to see. Man, I really want to start this, but I think I'm gonna wait unless I get a bunch of people in here all of a sudden. I'm really tempted. Let me know, one guy, one person who's watching. Let me know. Let me know if you want me to start. I'll start. I'll start doing it. I feel like I should wait till there's more people and we kind of get like a consensus here. I mean, these are mostly going to be my opinions, but unless you totally disagree with me, I'm going to be pretty different because most people are. I have some spicy opinions. Do they have? Um, don't tell me the Jedi Academy trilogy isn't on here. Oh man, seriously? Oh no, there it is. Okay, it's on there. Yeah, and now this is pretty close to everything. I mean, this is the majority of it, like 70% of it probably. Okay, I'll probably just wait. Unless the one person in here, unless you really want me to start, I'll probably wait. Oh, I feel I'm gonna probably save this for next time. So, person who's in here, if you want to talk, say something. I didn't want to quit quite yet. I was gonna try to go till midnight, but the stream's kind of dying, so I might end it a little earlier. Unless you've got something you want to talk about. I think I chased everybody away with my Jar Jar Binks story. I had I was telling everybody how there was a guy in my class when I was a kid when Phantom Menace came out who talked like Jar Jar. He did that for like a year, 2 years, like I think almost 2 years. He did at least for a year. So I don't know, I guess I better not talk about that. Seems to chase people away. I don't like Jar Jar either. I don't know. I think people think I'm defending Jar Jar. I don't like Jar Jar, but I don't know. I feel like he's yeah, he's stupid, but I'll take him over a lot of the stuff that came after, personally, after the prequels at least. But anyway, I don't know. People are in here. If you want to talk, talk. I can say you don't have to talk about Star Wars. We can talk about other things. We can talk about nope, never mind. I don't know. We can talk about other things. Man, I'm tempted to start this, but there's just nobody here. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I guess I'll just end this here because I'm just talking to nobody here. I got, let's see. I don't know. I guess I could stream a game or something. I'm trying to figure out, trying to figure out what's missing in here, and so I can add it because I know there's some things missing. Hmm. I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. Maybe I'll just end it. unless for the people that keep jumping in, don't want to talk. What's we talk about anything. You know, talk about Star Wars. We can talk about whatever. I'm open to anything. If you want to start making suggestions for the tier list, go ahead. If you want to start that, if you want to start throwing things out there for that, let me know. Go ahead. I'm deciding what to read actually. I'm in a little bit of a reading slump because I kind of like I've been reading tons of fantasy and I kind of burned myself out on it. So I'm thinking about reading some sci-fi. I'm thinking about reading either reading a Star Wars book or reading just something that's like totally sci-fi. I don't know. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do yet, but I think I need a break from fantasy because I've started like three different fantasy books and dropped them because I think I'm burned out on fantasy because I've read like 7 or 8 fantasy books in a row. I'm trying to read through Wheel of Time, but man, I've got really mixed opinions on Wheel of Time. I know that's like that's a lot of people say that, but it's a struggle to get through those books for me for some reason. I don't know, man. Like they're written so well, but they take forever to get through. Like one of those books feels like reading like 3 books. They're just so freaking dense. Like it's like too dense almost. It's almost like eating a meal, like eating a really heavy meal, and then you just every bite is like just it's like eating a really big like a fat steak. Like yeah, it tastes really good, but it's like you just kind of you feel too full after you eat it. Like you just feel like fat as a house after you eat it. That's kind of how I feel reading Wheel of Time. I don't know. That's my opinion. I might do this for fantasy books too at some point because I've read a lot of fantasy. I haven't read everything, but I've read a good chunk of fantasy books. I don't know. I get burnout quicker on fantasy than like I like sci-fi. I don't get burned out on sci-fi as fast for some reason. Fantasy, I can only read like when I read like 3 or 4 fantasy books, I have to take a break. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Star Wars is kind of sort of fantasy though. Star Wars, sci-fi fantasy, but oh man, I don't know. I got a bunch of I don't know. I guess I could show off my books that I just got my thrift store recently. I don't know if one person if you want to see that or not. The one person that's watching this, I'll probably put this away for now because I'm gonna do that another time. I think there's just only one person here. I'll be right back. Shit. Let's see. I got BattleTech. Thought about starting this. I haven't read any BattleTech books, and there was a guy on here that recommended them. I don't have any of the Stackpole ones, but this is kind of a good like entry point, apparently. So I thought about starting that. I think this is a later one, so I'll probably wait to read this one. It's got some cover damage, BattleTech main event. Let's see. Got another Monster Hunter book. I liked the first one, so really enjoyed the first one, and I think this is like the fourth or fifth one. But I think they can be read standalone. So as far as I know, they can be read standalone. This is a Star Wars author, Italian. I've heard good things about this. It's a standalone fantasy novel that Michael Stackpole wrote. It's even got the Rogue Squadron on the top there. New York Times bestselling author of X-Wing Rogue Squadron. Got that for $1. So I always like me some Stackpole. And then I got all the Shanhara books. There was one I didn't grab, and I'll probably go back next time I go back. I'll probably grab it. It's one of the later ones, but Sword of Shanhara. I know it's like a Lord. It's considered like a Lord of the Rings knockoff, but I like Lord of the Rings knockoffs. So I'll read it when I get out of my fantasy slump. Like I said, I'm in a little bit of a fantasy slump right now. Elfstones of Shahara. That's the second one, I think. Yeah, it's volume two. And then Wish Songs of Shannara. And I haven't seen the TV show for anybody asks. Third book. That's the original cover. Well, they're all different editions. That's what's funny. This one's the 20th anniversary. They're all totally different editions. Oh, there's one more, the prequel. I think this is the prequel. I think it was written later. So I'm gonna read it after. So and some of these I got at different times. So I got Name of the Wind. I know that's like super hyped up. Like everybody's like going gaga over it right now. But I started reading it and it didn't grab me. So I might try reading it again. But didn't grab me right away. Didn't grab me. I know I've heard people say it like it's really slow. Like it's one of those books you have to give it some time. So I'll probably wait on that one till I'm like wanting something really, really thick. So and then Assassin's Apprentice. Heard good things about it. Haven't read it. I know it's considered like it's one of the better like coming of age kind of fantasy books. So and then Hyperion. I got this a while ago. Paperback of that. Again, this is when I started. I tried reading this like I don't know, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. I think I tried reading it like 4 or 5 years ago, and I didn't get that far in it. So I'm gonna try starting it again. I've heard that's another one that's like slow. It starts off slow, and it gets better. So and then Death Messenger. This is a Warhammer book. So original Warhammer setting. Which honestly, I'm more interested in the original Warhammer setting than 40K. Most people are more interested in 40K. I don't know. And it's by Sandy Mitchell, so I like her. So she's written I think she's written some Star Wars books, and I know she's written Star Trek books. I think she's written some Star Wars books. Oh, hang on, let's see here real quick. I don't know. Doesn't say, but I don't know. I have more interest. I'm more intrigued by the original Warhammer setting. I know it's like it's a generic fantasy setting, but I don't know. I'm kind of more like I don't know. I'm more into like fantasy settings than I think than like weird sci-fi settings. Although I do like weird sci. I like both. I like both. I don't know. Warhammer 40K just seems so weird and like out there. It seems a little too weird and out there for me. I don't know. But I guess I'll end this because I'm just talking to nobody here. So um, yeah, I'll do this. I'm gonna try to do this on the weekends because clearly this everybody has to go to bed. So I'll probably wait till Friday. I thought about doing this tomorrow, but I think I'm just gonna wait. I'll wait till Friday. So everybody's off. People are off work. Most people are off work. So all right, I think I'm gonna leave it there. So who for everybody watching this, for watching this after the fact, I appreciate it. I appreciate any views and any support you guys give me and all. So I will leave it at that. And may the force be with you always.